Right, so quite a few big transfer stories have come out in the last couple hours in regards to Manchester United. It looks like Chelsea are now working on a deal to keep Jadon Sancho, which is big news coming in. That's £25 million. But also, Bruno Fernandes' agent has been spotted in Saudi in the same hotel as now Al Nassr's president, working on that 200 million deal. Bruno has not rejected it. There's a 72-hour deadline. Bruno's agent wouldn't be there if Bruno wasn't interested in that Saudi move, and that is worrying for Manchester United. Arsenal pursuing Sesko, which could open the door to Victor Gyokeres, especially after missing out on the lap. Updates on Mbeumo, updates on Jan Bissek, who would be an unbelievable right centre-back signing for United. And Napoli have interest in Garnacho. A couple of reports on that today. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute late-night Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup. If you have been following my channel for a while, you know that in the summer transfer window, on days where there's lots of news, I do a late night video that is about 10 minutes long, rounding up all the news that comes out in the last couple of hours. Short, sweet, you don't have to watch a 30-40 minute live stream to get the news. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. Feel free to hit that like button, and of course you're welcome to subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. But let's get into the video. So, this was said, major breaking. Chelsea in negotiations with Sancho's agent over contract terms. They want to keep him if an agreement is reached with the player. Look, what do we know about Jadon Sancho? He literally said yesterday, after winning the Conference League, he is not coming back to Manchester United. Jadon Sancho does not want to come back to Manchester United. He said he's not going back to Manchester United. He wants to stay at Chelsea. So the minute Chelsea have said, you know what, Sancho, we're willing to keep you, but, we've got to do it on our terms. You might have to take a bit of a wage cut. I think Sancho will agree to that. If Sancho agrees to a wage cut, I think he's gone to Chelsea. Chelsea have decided, you know what, we'll keep him, but we want to put him on a lower contract, lower wages than what he is at Man United, which is absolutely fair because his contributions don't warrant 250k plus a week. They want to get his wages a bit lower. Palmer, I think, is only on 150k a week, and Palmer's a lot more important than Jadon Sancho. So if Sancho agrees to new contract terms, he will go to Chelsea. The problem is, will Sancho agree to that? I think he might have to, because I think unless he stays at Manchester United, he's not getting those wages from any other club because he's not that good anymore. So I think he's got a choice of go back to Manchester United, get the wages, not play, struggle to find a new club, or go to Chelsea where he's happy. So I think Sancho to Chelsea will happen. Now, some reports just said a couple of hours ago that Chelsea are leaning towards sending Sancho back. But it's now being said that Chelsea are in negotiations. Chelsea wouldn't be in negotiations with Sancho's agent if they weren't thinking of keeping him. So that is a big boost there. But we've got to talk about Bruno Fernandes. So Ben Jacobs has probably quite good links to Saudi, and he said this. Al Hilal still pushing for Bruno Fernandes deal. Bruno's agent met Al Hilal president and Riyadh this week, well, today apparently. Talks were described as productive with the focus on Club World Cup preparations. Al Hilal want Bruno, they want him fast, they want him quick because they are in the Club World Cup. And I think I said Al Nassr at the start of the video and I meant to say Al Hilal. So I do apologise if I said that because I'm pretty sure I just said Al Nassr like 3 minutes ago. Anyway, continuing on. Fernandes was given 72 hours to respond to their offer, no rejection yet. It has now officially been 72 hours, but I think considering his agent is in Saudi talking with them, I reckon they can allow another 24, 48 hours considering something is being spoken over. Al Hilal is still actively pursuing the deal and they're waiting to gain the player's approval. Now, Ben Jacobs is basically saying there's no green light from Bruno to join Saudi yet, but he's not rejected them. He's not rejected them. His agent has gone out there to discuss with Saudi. The talks are productive. Bruno clearly is thinking about this Saudi move. His agent is there. The deal, it's all being discussed. If Bruno was like, no, his agent wouldn't be there. It's not like Bruno said, no, I'm staying at United. Bruno's like, well, I've got no European football. I could play in the Club World Cup. If I'm Man United, I say, you know what? If Saudi give us 10 million, they can have him on loan for the Club World Cup. That's what I do. Then we get our Bruno back. He gets to play in the Club World Cup. Bish, bash, bosh. We'll have to see. Anyway, what else has been said on this Bruno exit? This was Chris Wheeler, who's been quite accurate with his news. Al Hilal are prepared to offer Bruno 200 million over 3 years. So Bruno's being offered a 200 million deal. He goes there for 3 years, £200 million deal. I mean, look, Man United aren't where they're meant to be. Bruno has every right to leave Man United. He's 31. He's been offered a 200 million deal. You know, you can't blame Bruno if he accepts it. They're also ready to pay 100 million to United. I think United want at least 120 million because that's what he's worth to them. Now, Bruno's agent is in Saudi, blah, blah, blah. We know that there's talks going on at the Four Seasons Hotel that have gone late into tonight. But apparently Bruno's response is unclear, but discussions are advanced. For me, Bruno hasn't made his mind up, but he's definitely swaying towards Saudi, and it's definitely close if his agent is there having these discussions. Something tells me, okay, look, we don't know for sure. Bruno might just love Man United too much to go, even though he's been offered 200 million. But something tells me a 200 million exit could be close for Bruno. I think he could go, but we don't have confirmation yet, but it's worrying. Anyway, we've got a few other stories. We're going to go into more positive stories now because Bruno leaving, I don't like that idea. But there's a few positive stories coming in. And one of them is that Arsenal are pursuing Sesko. Now, Arsenal were going to go for one of Sesko or Gyokeres, and they seem to have gone for Sesko. Arsenal have started concrete talks with Sesko, and Romano has confirmed that. Now, if Sesko could fall through, Arsenal could go back in for Gyokeres. Gyokeres may be going to Barcelona for all we know. It could mean nothing, but we've missed out on Delap. We like Gyokeres. Delap was the club's first choice. Gyokeres was Amorim's first choice. Gyokeres is still unlikely without Champions League football, but now Arsenal have pulled out for Gyokeres, who were the favourites. United are the most advanced. United are more advanced than any other team for Victor Gyokeres. Now the question is, something tells me this could be a late deal. Something tells me Arsenal get Sesko. Gyokeres is available in the market in August. Maybe United could do a late deal for Gyokeres. I think now Delap's off, we're going to pursue Mbeumo. I'm going to talk about in a second. If we get Mbeumo, I think we'll move for a striker later. We've got to work on sales. If Mbeumo goes to Newcastle, maybe we move for Gyokeres. Now, a lot of people keep saying that Gyokeres would be a flop at Man United. And look, he could be a flop. But he's definitely, even if he flops, I think he will be better than Rasmus Højlund. So, for me, go for Victor Gyokeres. Go for Victor Gyokeres because, look, we need a good striker. We need a proven striker. I know it is the Portuguese league, but to get those numbers in the Portuguese league is insane. Now, Prem proven is always good. Ryan Mbeumo's Prem proven, 20 goals, good numbers in the Premier League. What else has been said on Mbeumo? The Muppeteers have suggested now we've missed out on Delap. We could be pushing ahead for Mbeumo. Dean Jones added this. There is a belief that United would be prepared to match Ryan Mbeumo's asking price if it meant getting ahead of their rivals in the queue, but significant outgoings are needed. So there's a feeling that we want Mbeumo, but because we brought Cunha, we'll need a sale first. If we sell Rashford to Barcelona for 40 million next week, bish bash bosh, pure profit, I think we can go in and put that money in from Mbeumo. If Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, and Garnacho are still here in the weeks to come, even though the transfer window is going to open in a couple of days, we could miss out. A little bit like Elise and Bayern. I think United are hoping that Barcelona hurry up with Rashford. That's in talks. You know, we're going to get 25 million for Sancho soon, hopefully. I think Garnacho is the one that's going to bring in the real money. If you can get money for Garnacho, if Bruno goes, we've got the money for Mbeumo. The question is, does Mbeumo want to go to United? That will be the worry. Now, apparently personal terms won't be an issue. He's open to the move, but also he's also open to the Newcastle move. He's open to both Manchester United and Newcastle. And Newcastle, thanks to us, have Champions League football. So that could cost us. Continuing on into other stories, this was said out from Inter sources. Manchester United are eyeing a move for Jan Bissek. They're constantly following him and have included him in their list of targets. That's no surprise. If we're thinking of a wide channel right centre back for Amorim's system, Jan Bissek is the guy. We should have moved from earlier when, you know, he was far more available. But look, I like him. Good player, good wide channel defender. Something tells me he could be a bit expensive. Something tells me I don't think we're going to spend more than 20 million on a centre back. Something tells me the budget's going on attacking the midfielder, and then centre back and goalkeeper could be cheap. But I like Jan Bissek. Please be true. Please go for him. And yeah, last but not least, it's been said by many sources that Alejandro Garnacho is an option, but apparently not a priority for Conte. But Napoli still have interest in Garnacho. Chelsea do have interest in Garnacho. He was linked to Arsenal, but not by credible sources. There's a few clubs interested in Garnacho. Chelsea apparently still wants to watch, and so are Napoli. Garnacho's open to leaving. I think, of course, Garnacho's open to leaving because he's been told to go and pray you find a new club. That could be one to watch. But you know, 50, 60 million for Garnacho, I think that's a good price tag. Let's see who comes in for him, because as Amorim said, he better pray you find a new club, because, look, I think Amorim is done with the player. And I think he's probably done with United. Let me know your thoughts down below on all the news. Thank you for watching. Bye.